Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is not a tarot reading. This is a discussion about twin flames. Okay. Um, there are soulmates and there are twin flames, and we have a lot of soulmates in this lifetime. Soulmates are here to teach us different lessons. You may have like a different soulmate for a different lesson. So different soulmates teach us different lessons, but you only have one twin flame. And I've heard of twin flames, and I didn't really even, believe in twin flames. Like when I first started off in the tarot community and doing different things, readings and stuff in the tarot community, people would briefly mention twin flames, and I'm like, okay, well, what is a twin flame? And I'm sorry about that noise. I was checking on something. But yeah, we only have one twin flame, and a lot of people want to know, well, what is a twin flame? I've heard different things about them. There was one tarot reader who told me that if you're on a spiritual journey, when you meet your twin flame, that twin flame will, they'll mess up that journey. They will mess up that spiritual journey because they will distract you and you will be going through a lot with your twin flame. Um, well, I met my twin flame when I was 12 years old, and I didn't know he was my twin flame at the time. You know, I was just a 12-year-old girl who played with Barbie dolls, and I would go to a basketball court nearby my neighborhood, and I would watch teenage boys play basketball. And there was this one teenage boy in particular who liked to come over and try to talk to me. And he would say things like, well, why are you cheering for so and so? How come you don't cheer for any other basketball player? And I really didn't know what to say to him because truthfully, I did end up having a crush on that other basketball player, but I just didn't know what to say to him or why he was even asking me what he was asking me. It's like, well, why do you care? And time passed, right? Like being 12 years old, I continued with middle school and high school. He was 17 years old, so he graduated. He ended up graduating when he was 18 and getting his own life and getting married and having kids. And I went off to college after I graduated. So we took different paths. And one thing you will notice about having a twin flame is when you finally do catch up with your twin flame, y'all seem to have a lot in common. And I was thinking about this tonight. I was like, why is this person my twin flame? Like why am I going through this? Why is this person my twin flame? And then I realized that we have similar scars. Um so I come from a background where I was related to someone who was kind of narcissistic. And, people said, oh, well, he alienated his children. He did this, he did that. Okay. Well, I thought about it today and I thought, why am I attracting this twin flame that I have? Why do I have this twin flame? I was thinking about it tonight. And I was like, well, the person in my family who was kind of narcissistic, not only did he alienate his children, but he basically taught them that it's okay to abandon yourself. It's okay to disconnect from your needs, your wants and your needs to make other people happy. And that was something that I did in order to survive as a child, and But when you're not a child anymore and when you're in adulthood, those behaviors don't serve you. Because when you're an adult, it's best to focus on fulfilling your own wants and needs and, loving yourself and not abandoning yourself. And to me, it's not really a skill of survival. I mean, it is in childhood if you have to, but when you get older, to me, it's more like something of a self-destruct measure. Because if you're trying to get your needs met through outward sources and you're not loving yourself, you're kind of self-destructing. And so I was thinking about all this and I'm like, okay, because my twin flame is kind of crazy. Like he will drive drunk and I don't do that. I don't drive drunk. I try to follow the law as best I can. And I was like, why is this person my twin flame? And then it clicked for me tonight. This person, he abandons himself in order to make other people happy because he is disconnected from his inner child. And somewhere along the lines of his childhood or him growing up, someone in his family taught him to disconnect from himself in order to survive. So I think we are both victims of psychological abuse. And what I don't like about my twin flame is he's in and out of my life. Like he'll go out of my life for, I mean, 3 years. And then he'll message me after 3 years. And he's been doing this for a while now. But last year, we hung out at his place and watched TV. And ever since we hung out last year, he has been in and out of my life more often. He's not doing the 3-year thing anymore. Now it's every few weeks or every few months. Let me hit up this girl and bother her because I don't have the resources within myself to take care of my own wants and needs. So let me look outside for external validation, someone to make me feel good about myself because I don't know how to get that from inside of myself because I've been severely abused. So I'm not saying that like people that are like this way don't know how to meet their own wants or needs at all. That's not what I'm saying. Everyone, knows when they're thirsty and hungry, but it's hard to stay in a constant stream of self love and self care when, as a child, you've been taught, no, you need to abandon yourself in order to survive sometimes, so you can get other people to like you, stuff like that. I mean, it's hard to stay in a steady stream of self care. It's hard to be consistent when, as a child, you were taught, no, don't be consistent. Abandon yourself sometimes so that you can survive. And so this is what me and my twin flame are learning at this point in time. We are learning to love ourselves. I am in the process of, you know, learning self love, learning self care. And most importantly, I'm in the process of learning how to speak up. It's like it's easy to, drink water every day and eat healthy every day, but it is a skill to be able to speak up for yourself and to be able to tell people, no, I don't feel like hanging out with you tonight because I have a headache and I'm staying home. Necessary self care skills like that. And, but yeah, this just all kind of reminds me of that Marilyn Manson song. I think it's called It's a Long Hard Road Out of Hell, and he sings, "I wanna live, I wanna love, but it's a long, hard road out of hell." So to me, it is a long, hard road out of hell when you're learning to combine your adult self with your inner child and combine them together to where they're in one accord, to where you're not abusing yourself, you're not hurting yourself. It's a long, hard road out of hell to get there to self love. And if you are disconnected from yourself, you will attract people who are disconnected from themselves. Okay. Because when my twin flame does these stupid things like drive drunk, I think what he really wants is, someone to hold, someone to hug him. But he has problems verbalizing this, and it's easier for him to just, "Well, let me just go drive drunk and risk my life and risk other people's lives." And, I'm not excusing his behavior, I'm not making excuses for it, but that I think that's what's going on. I think there is some sort of unmet need he is not seeing or that he refuses to see, and he thinks that drinking and driving is going to make him feel good, which maybe it does for him, but it doesn't make me feel good, knowing that he's out there, and could possibly hurt someone or hurt himself. But I attracted this person into my energy because I was disconnected from myself and I was going through a really hard time after one of my relatives passed away. And I have someone new in my life now who is teaching me about, being honest and authentic with myself. So, I'm trying to head towards the new person and I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to get away from my twin flame. People try to say, "Oh, you're destined to be, you're always meant to be with your twin flame." Not really. Sometimes you can have a twin flame that is too toxic for you to be with. And in that case, it's better for both of you to just walk away. I mean, to me, it kind of reminds me of two little kids that have third degree burns. Like we have psychological burns, so they're not the same as physical burns. But if I were to meet my twin flame and he had third degree burns and I had third degree burns, it's in our best interest to walk away from each other. Not to be like, "Well, let's hug each other." No, because we have third degree burns. It's not in our best interest to hug each other. It's not in our best interest to make our injuries worse by being with each other. So, no, like it's not always a good idea to hang out with your twin flame or be with your twin flame. And so I can't help him. There's nothing I can do for him because I have to help myself first. And that may take years. Healing can take months to years. So a lot of people come on these, tarot reading channels and they're like, "Oh, new love, who am I going to find? Who am I going to find?" No, like it's very important to work on self-love and self-care and healing yourself before you find new love, because if you haven't healed yourself, if you're disconnected from yourself sometimes, you're going to pull someone into your energy that is like that. And it will not be a good relationship and it will end. And if you don't do the healing work, you will keep meeting people that are disconnected from themselves, depending on which part of your journey you're in, how disconnected you are from yourself. So, um, it's really important to take things day by day, taking care of yourself instead of, well, when are me and my twin flame going to be together? Or when are we going to have that happily ever after? Well, you need to heal first. You can't just, combine toxicity with toxicity. It doesn't end good. And apparently, me and my twin flame are on different points or different parts of our journey because that night when he wanted me to get in the vehicle with him and go help him get some more alcohol, I told him no. And I went back into the house, which shows that I love myself more than he loves himself, or I'm more connected to myself than he is to himself. I still have some disconnects that I am working on, but he may be more disconnected from himself than I am. And if I ever get to a point in my life where I am fully psychologically healed, I will be on a different energy level and completely disconnected from him. So the twin flame journey, it's like a spiritual journey, but it kind of reminds me of a dream I had where two flowers were growing side by side and they were growing higher and higher, but they were separate. So in order for me and him to grow, we have to be separate. Because if we're together, we're not growing. If we're together, we're trying to control each other, we're trying to tell each other what to do. We have to be separate in order to grow on our spiritual journey, on our spiritual pathway. And I know this, but I don't think he understands this because he keeps trying to contact me, he keeps trying to be with me, and I'm just not having it. So, um it's just hard to explain twin flames. It's hard to explain. So, I hope that anyone who has a twin flame that watches these videos, I hope that you're growing in your spiritual walk. I hope things are going well for you. If you have a twin flame story, you're welcome to share it with the other people on this channel. You're welcome to leave it in the comments section. Um, I never thought this would happen. There is a tarot reader I watch on YouTube called Baba Jolie, and she confirmed that he is my twin flame. And she said, "You're going to be asking God, like, why? Why did you choose this person as my twin flame?" And I really did feel that way because he is like the opposite of me in a lot of ways. But he's taught me some things. You know, I'm not an alcoholic, but watching him has basically taught me that, alcohol can be okay in moderation for some people, but he drinks more than I thought he did. Like, he drinks, I think, at least 4 times a day. But when I first hung out with him last year, I just saw like the typical guy having like a beer after work. And in my head, I was like, well, that's okay, like one beer after work. But, so he's taught me some things about moderation. And, so I've learned a few things from him, but I feel like I've learned all I need to learn from him because after he wanted me to be with him while he was driving drunk that night, I learned that this was not a person I want to be around or associate with. So, um, there were some other things he said that were disrespectful, and so I'm just trying to stay away from him and I'm trying to grow from the experience. But, Yeah, the twin flame journey is it's crazy. And so just because, your twin flame is not for you does not mean there is not someone out there for you. Sometimes you can go through a bad twin flame experience and then you can meet someone new who's like the complete opposite of your twin flame, who is a nice person or someone that you would want to be around. And in that case, usually I would think it's best to go with the new, but it's your life. You can choose whatever you want to do. But it is a long, hard road out of hell for some twin flames because, like I said, some of us have been taught, oh, you got to seek outside approval. Always seek outside approval. Seek outside approval in order to feel good about yourself. And it's really a form of brainwashing. Um, you know, I don't need to seek outside approval to feel good about myself. There are times in the day where I can do something and I can be like, I did a good job with that. I have approval within myself. And that is a victory on my road to healing. That is a step forward. You know, but the hardest part of healing for me is when I'm looking at the bigger picture because my brainwashing involved, well, you got to be with a man, you got to make a man happy in order to survive in the world. And um so I have to undo all of that on a step by step basis, day by day, and realize that I don't need a man to survive in this world and that I can be okay all on my own. So it's just a long, hard road out of hell. So, thank you for coming to this channel. Thank you for the support of the channel. I hope everyone that comes to this channel, I hope they learn something or they find something that helps them with connecting to themselves or connecting to their inner child. A lot of people have been disconnected from their inner childs. So, um and some people, for them, they are their own twin flame. And it's like once you get connected to yourself, hopefully it's smooth sailing from there. But thank you and hope you guys have a good night. Bye for now.